Hello there, gang, and welcome to another episode of Displaying-Model-Behaviour, the Earth's mightiest video podcast. And today we're going to embark on a journey. Where are we going? The land of having reviewed every single Marvel Legend ever. Should have workshopped that one a little bit better, but that's what we're going to do. We are going to chronologically critique every single Marvel Legend ever made. So what better place to start than at the beginning? We're going to go way back to the year 2002 and look at the first wave of Marvel Legends ever made. And I don't care how long it takes.
It's been 84 years.
We're going to go all the way up to the current day.
Not a great plan.
What's the matter with me? I've got to snap out of it.
Boy, have you lost your mind, because I'll help you find it.
But first, we'll start at the beginning with Captain America, the Sentinel of Liberty. Toy Biz absolutely renamed the game. That's not an expression, but they did a big thing when they started Marvel Legends. They changed the game and made a name for themselves. There you go, that works. And Captain America was such a great way to kick things off. You're gonna see a whole load of really awesome up-close macro photography in some of these videos. These pictures were taken from MarvelLegends.net, which is a website that actually doesn't seem to exist anymore. I spoke to the guy who runs it years ago when I first started Model Behavior, and he said that I could use his pictures if I gave credit, which is what I'm doing. But now the website is gone and I can't get hold of him. So I hope you're well out there. But also, the internet has the way back machine, so I managed to source some of these pictures. Thank goodness, we can make a little archive of them here. And Captain America looks terrific for his time. Of course, action figure technology has moved along, but what we got in this package to begin with, absolutely fantastic, considering that at this time we were pretty much used to very child-oriented Marvel action figures.
Extraordinary, exceptional X-Men. Wolverine's got a tiger twist, stripes, and spring-out claws.
I know, can you believe it? A shocking thought, but these were made for kids back in the day. Not so much anymore. But really it was just McFarlane that was pushing the boundaries of adult action figure collectibles. And then Hasbro, or excuse me, Toy Biz, probably going to make that mistake quite a few times. Toy Biz thought, you know what, we can get in on this. And they kicked it off with this beautiful Captain America. I mean, they released all 4 figures in Wave 1 at the same time, but come on, what better starting point is there than the Sentinel of Liberty? And they crammed so much into these initial releases. Back in the day, it was all about giving bang for your buck, and oh, you got so much for comparatively so little. Such a halcyon time to be alive. So Captain America is not just the figure. He comes with a display base as well, but it's not just that. You get the comic book as well. It's a whole package together, and it looks so glorious. There's not much to compare him to at this stage, because this is the first Marvel Legend. He looks kind of rudimentary and almost quaint compared to the new versions, but to kick things off in 2002, this was a bit of a game changer, because the old Toy Biz figures, they were starting to get a little bit better with some of their Spider-Man lines, and they were pushing the boundaries of what you could do with articulation and paint and sculpt, but this was the new standard to go for, and they really did nail it. Cap with a very stoic, smart, upstanding kind of expression, not the rah charging into battle kind of look that I always prefer, but as a beginning point, he looks like Captain America should. Not a huge amount of sculpting on the body, you don't really have the fish scale chainmail, but they've done a lot of details with the boots and the wings on the head, and they've kind of kicked things off in a nice way. Good basic cap, and then the rest of the detail goes into the display base, which I think really does set this thing off. When Marvel Legends did their 20th anniversary celebration, they remade this first wave of figures, and even though I would happily say the faces look better, the articulation, the sculpt, it's all been improved. The dioramas were just bits of cardboard, because, the times they are a-changing, and plastic isn't as cheap as it used to be. So really, these ones, they still are the winner, as far as accessories go. Then when you throw in the Captain America comic as well, oh my goodness, what a great way to kick off this line. Also, one thing I really like, they sculpted the lines in the shield as well, giving it some depth and a real 3D feel, like it's been manufactured and hammered together and is actually a tangible weapon as opposed to just a flat disc of plastic. That's a real nice touch as well. And you can see the paintwork on the face, the eyes, they really do bring this character to life. As I mentioned, we're doing so great when it comes to face expressions now at this time. But man, back in 2002, there were a few clangers we're going to get to. But this first effort, I think it was a really good job. And since we're talking about Marvel Legends, it only makes sense to tell you about this channel's sponsor, LegendsVerse. LegendsVerse is the one-stop shop to chronologically catalog all of your Marvel figures, but not just Marvel figures. We're talking G.I. Joe, McFarlane, Mafex, Four Horsemen, NECA, and a whole bunch of other lines in between. Not only can you mark off what you've got, but you can make want lists of what you're after. You can catalog what you have pre-ordered and where you've pre-ordered it from and when it's due. Plus, every single figure has a price listing as well, so you can see what you've spent. Ugh, don't want to think about that. But also what your collection is worth. And they have this clever algorithm thing that tracks eBay prices and sales, so you can actually take some good reassurance that the facts that you're being given are pretty accurate. I mean, I say that because a figure is only worth what someone's willing to pay for it. That's something that a lot of people, myself included, sometimes make that mistake. I'm like, oh, this figure is worth so much. And it's like, well, it's only worth that if you find someone who wants to pay it. You know? But LegendsVerse is so great. They've been sponsoring this channel for a long time now, and it's a real pleasure to work with them. Even if you don't join up for LegendsVerse, you can still just go in there and, like I do, just while away hours and hours going through all the old archives and just looking at all the old action figures, seeing what was out there, where we've come from, and probably surprising yourself with what's out there that you can go back and find if you're feeling like you want to complete some little gaps in your collection, maybe with characters you didn't even know existed. So guys, go give them a follow. Can you follow a website? Yeah, you know what I mean. Go check them out and tell them Dave sent you. Next up, we got a big heavy boy. It is the Hulk. And man, this is where the power lies, brother. The weight and heft and chonk of this Hulk. Really, really crazy. I was blown away when I finally got this guy in hand. I was like, this is a brick. You could wallop someone over the head with this. I mean, don't. That's a terrible thing to do. You might damage your action figure. But there's so much plastic in this Hulk, he feels like a Hulk, and I really appreciate that. But then when we look at the figure itself, man, he really starts to come to life. Maybe not always in the best way, in that he looks kind of freaky. He's a scary looking Hulk. This is the gamma irradiated rage monster, and that comes across with Toy Biz paintwork and detailing. Look at that face. You know, talk about a face only a mother could love. This is a scary looking Hulk. That's what they went for. And this was the first instance I kind of find of the kind of grotesque kind of Toy Biz figures. And I'm not saying that necessarily in a bad way. I just mean grotesque, like so overly detailed and so much stuff going on there. Some of them can look kind of gnarly. But actually, I really like that. So this Hulk, he wears that really well. Then when you go down the body, you see all of the veins and the lines and the sinews of the muscles. This is that Toy Biz attention to detail that I'm talking about here. It looks terrific. Then also going down to the pants as well, the fibers and the rips. Then on top of that, the paint job that sets it all off. Hulk isn't just a flat green, but he's got kind of a wash and shading on there as well to bring out different textures of the muscles, gives real depth to the character. You get a lot out of what they've put in. As a first attempt at this new line of figures, having so much work and size put into this Hulk, this was so promising at the time because you realized that it doesn't matter if the character is bigger and more intimidating than your normal figures. Toy Biz are going to throw in the extra work and the extra plastic and materials to do that character justice. Oh, Hulk was a real winner when I saw him because I couldn't believe what I was looking at. I was like, this is the Hulk on the shelf. Then, of course, like Captain America, you couple him with the diorama piece. Of course, for Hulk, it's a perfectly smashed through brick wall. That's great with the comic in the back. A complete package. Hulk, absolutely another winner. And of course, one thing that Toy Biz had that modern Marvel Legends don't, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, is the old Chase figure. I say that it's not a bad thing that we've lost it just because I guess for hardcore collectors that can get a little bit frustrating when you desperately want to have everything and you're trying to source that rare figure. In this case, we had Hulk with a white t-shirt, not a t-shirt, a white button-up, ripped-up shirt. Again, a real fun little extra that you can find. This one, I think the actual execution doesn't necessarily look that great. It's a very big, baggy kind of duvet cover it looks like he's wearing, and I think that kind of takes away from all the extra detail that's in the body. I wouldn't want to cover that up. I mean, heck, if I had a physique like the Hulk, I wouldn't be walking around with a shirt on, that's for darn sure. But it's fun to be able to find these little Chase figures out there. And then, of course, like I showed you, with these figures that I have, mine have the different comic at the back. I don't think it's actually a comic. It's just a print, a picture with the gold foil around the outside, which is nice. But honestly, I'd rather have the original ones, to be honest. Besides the gold foil and lack of actual comic book, the figures are identical. I found those in a second-hand store in Den Town. It's a pretty cool find. Unfortunately, it just made me think, these are great. I really want the original ones, though. See, there's always a new thing that I'm chasing. Now, it's the original OG Series 1 figures. I'll find them in the wild one day. And of course, what would the Avengers lineup be without the Armored Avenger himself? I was about to say Captain America. Not going to redo that. Iron Man. Tony Stark. This dude right here. Again, a great example of what they can do with different styles of characters. Now we've got a really metallic kind of figure. So we had Captain America, was kind of a matte finish, very human looking features. Then Hulk, huge and monstrous. Now we got a more metallic version of a Marvel legend, and again they've done a great job with him. Really loving the extras that they've included, like the removable faceplate. Little bits of detail like that go such a long way to making a toy feel like it's been made for more of an adult collector. Little bits and pieces you can take off, remove, tinker around with, stuff that adds value to the figure. This figure's got a whole lot of value added to it, and I really appreciate that. I think that the Tony Stark face, just by virtue of having the mask outline like around it, it looks a little bit funny, but that's just because of how it looks with, you put your face just sticking out like that, it's gonna look a little bit funny. But I would always display it with the mask on anyway, because I want my Iron Man looking like he's ready to charge into battle. Then with the Stark Expo banner behind him as well, it's a great diorama set, just like the other ones as well. Got the comic book in the back, but they went extra when it comes to the different versions and variants of Iron Man. This time you got two different ones that you can chase after. There was the classic matte yellow and red one, then there's the metallic style one, which I've got, and then on top of that, they also had the stealth armor too, which was this wonderful midnight blue looking armor with the red lights and highlights. I love that design, and the more modern version of it from Hasbro, I think they kind of killed it as well. I thought that's a great one, but we'll get to him in a long time. It's going to be a long time before we get there, but it's going to be fun going through them. So the different versions and variants, they all look real nice, giving more things for collectors to chase after. That's a nice little touch, and it was a great start for our first of many Tony Stark variants. And finally, rounding out the Avengers, we had Captain America, we had Hulk, we had Iron Man, now we've got Toad? Yeah, we got Toad in this wave. An odd addition, I'm sure you would agree. Apparently, this Toad figure was left over from a previous wave. He wasn't released, so they had him, he was good to go, and they were like, yeah, go on, we'll chuck him in. So, not the most logical addition to your lineup. You would have thought that Thor would be the one that you would put with Cap, Iron Man, and Hulk. But nope, we got Toad, and he does look rather different. Slightly more limited with his articulation. You can tell that this was maybe from a previous line. Toy Biz didn't mind. They're like, what the heck, we can make some money out of this guy. But I will say what Toad does have going for him is that he probably has the most detail in his paint job out out of all of these figures. There is so much shading and washes and little itty bitty intricate little bits of paintwork going on with this character. Another example, I would say, of the Toy Biz grotesqueness. They weren't going for a bright animated comic booky kind of Toad. They were going for this almost McFarlane looking, real gnarly swamp character. I think he looks great. Not pretty by any means, but as far as a beautifully crafted figure goes, I think this dude's terrific. He's got the toads in his hands as well. It's just so much of a labor of love. You can tell that a sculptor had a lot of fun making this guy. With the ugly bowl haircut and the jowls and all the details with the teeth and the eyes, they really went hard on this, and it shows. So even though he sticks out like a sore thumb next to the 3 Avengers, it's great to have this guy, and we didn't get an update of Toad until Hasbro did the 20th anniversary line. But Toad with the swamp diorama base as well, just like the other figures, a really great complete package. Awesome way to kick off the line. And folks, that does it for the first episode of the Marvel Legends Chronicle Critique. I'll come up with a better name for it. But there we go, Series 1, 2002. What a way to kick off this new toy line that would go on to dominate so many collectors' shelves and wallets, and probably life decisions. But hey, it's worth it, because dang it, these figures give us so much joy. And it was a joyous start. 3 core Avengers and Toad as well, who's good in his own right, I'd say. Oh, let's kind of do a little letter grade ranking. I tell you what, since this is the first wave, I'm going to say that all of these characters are in the B tier. So there you go, these are all B tier characters, and then we'll go up and down. I might shift things around as we go. We'll play about with it. This is a work in progress. It's like freeform jazz. We're just kind of finding the beat, and we're going to roll with it. So thank you MarvelLegends.net for taking these amazing photos that I've been able to use. Also, of course, I've used some YouTube footage from other creators. Go give them a follow. All the links are in the description down below. And gang, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, do let me know, because I will make more of them. I think this is going to be a really fun ride to go through. And also, yeah, if you want to give me the old thumbs up, all that kind of stuff, or even support the channel, like the good brothers behind me do. We got the YouTube channel memberships. You do that, and you can comment in all the live chats and all that kind of thing. And also, I've got a Patreon too, and that's about it. Yeah, I think I've just about shielded everything. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, keep displaying model behavior.
Cup of coffee. Big time.